I've been in a massive reading slump recently and I need something to jumpstart my reading a little bit. Lexi's going to be doing a 24-hour readathon over on her Patreon where we are trying to earn a pizza party and we have a page goal. I want to see how many pages I can read in the next 24 hours. I am very sleepy already. It's currently 9 p.m. We start in a couple of hours and I want to challenge myself to see how much I can read in a true 24-hour period. So I'm not going to be doing a start and stop timer. We're just going to be going from, I think, 10 p.m. my time tonight until 10 p.m. my time tomorrow night, because that's when I would go to bed for work on Monday anyway. So it is Saturday night. It's going to run the whole day on Sunday. I think I'm going to join her for 24-hour sprints. So I really just want to see how much can I get read. My page goal for the readathon is going to be 600 pages. So that is the bare minimum that we have to get done, but I would love to push that limit and get more to like 750. That's going to be my stretch goal in my brain, but like the actual goal is 600 pages. Do you think I can do it? Put your predictions down in the comments because I'm not 100% sure I can. I don't know what's going to be on the TBR. I think I want to read a contemporary, so I may read Wild and Wrangled, and this finishes off a series for me. I kind of just want to mix up my genres because I've been reading a lot of more fantasy recently, and I want to get back into like the silly, goofy fantasy romance. I want to read a little like contemporary romance, a little bit of horror, and just really do something to get myself out of this reading slump. And I'm hoping mixing up genres and reading a couple of different things is going to help with that. So I don't really have a set TBR. I honestly don't even know what I'm going to start with tonight. I think I might start with Wild and Wrangled, but also I could read a Darcy Coates. Those always read really, really fast. I don't know. I will let you know when I figure it out. But really the goal is just to read as much as humanly possible. So we're going to see if I'm successful or not. I may be crashing out a little bit tomorrow. Wish me luck. Okay, so it's 10:30 and I'm about to officially start. I think what I'm going to start with is the Thrashers by, I think it's Julie Soto. This is a young adult thriller that Cassidy read not too long ago and several of my patrons have been raving about it as well. I think she gave it a 5-star and I just feel like a YA thriller is going to be the perfect thing to start me off with and to just kind of listen to as I'm very, very tired because I could literally go to sleep right now. But I'm going to try to get in about, if I could get an hour and a half in and stay up until midnight, that would be my goal, but we're gonna see. I don't know a lot about this book. I've just heard them talk about it and I was like, well, that sounds good. It says either you're in or you're out. Welcome to the Thrashers, an elite friend group at New Helleveton High. I forget exactly what she comped this to. So basically one of the girls that desperately wanted to be a Thrasher dies, and so there's a lot of whispers about her. There's a journal that comes in, detectives closing in, eerie messages and strange occurrences. Becomes clear that Emily isn't done with them yet. I feel like it's gonna read really, really fast. It says that it is 10 hours, so I think that I'll be able to get through it pretty quickly. Oh, you guys, I am so sore. I went to the gym on Friday and it's currently Sunday, so you know that the second day is always the worst. I can barely get my arms up in order to hit the play button on my camera because it hurts so bad. That means it's working, right? Ugh. Anyway, I'm gonna do nothing but sit on the couch today because I'm too sore to move, and I wanted to have gotten a lot more into the Thrashers last night. I realized as I was finishing up the vlog clip that I didn't have any credits left on Amber End. I thought that I did, but it doesn't reset until tomorrow, and then the Thrashers wasn't on the library. Lexi saved the day for me, and I am gonna be able to listen to it, but I didn't get started last night at 10:30 like I was planning to. I didn't start until this morning, so we're already behind, but it's fine. Everything is fine. I am currently about 80 pages into this so far, and I am liking it. We're following 5 kids that are best friends. Everybody wants to be a part of this friend group. They're such close knit, and one of the girls, Emily, has been trying to make her way in, but she dies. There's question about whether or not it was a suicide and whether she was bullied into this, and now these kids are basically on the chopping block for, did they encourage her to commit suicide by bringing her into this friend group and then casting her out and bullying her. And that's about all I've gotten so far, is kind of the setup of, did they do this, did they not do this? It's very clear that there is some kind of secret that they are hiding. I'm curious to see what that's going to be. I will say that while I'm enjoying this and I am intrigued, I'm not just completely sucked in and oh my goodness, I have to know what's gonna happen next. But I'm not as sucked in as I wanted to be. I definitely see the 13 Reasons Why comparison. I think that that is a great comp for this book, but I wish wish that I was just a little bit more sucked in at 25%. I'm assuming that's a lot of setup so far, so I think it's going to continue to expand and I'm going to start to enjoy it more, but I'm going to take a little bit of a break because I have the Readathon Rebellion announcement happening in the next 20 minutes. So wish me luck. I really hope that this goes well. I've been waiting to announce it, share it with you guys for so long, and I cannot believe that it's finally time for me to do that, but I just really hope that everyone loves it and is as excited about it as I am, because I am so thrilled to finally be sharing this with you guys. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from reading. I'm going to go to that announcement, and then if I can concentrate, I'll be joining Lexi for sprints later as we continue to work on getting this pizza party. I'm very comfy on the couch, but I'm trying to move in here because I'm tired of looking yellow. I like for my lights to be that like soft white, but it definitely makes my vlog clips look very yellowy orange. So I promise I'm not sick. At least I don't think so. I'm about halfway into the Thrashers so far, and it is 2:30. So I am very massively struggling on my goal, and we may not be getting the pizza party because I think we're all struggling. But at halfway, I am enjoying the Thrashers more. I feel like there is more happening. I like the conversations that are happening about societal type things and things that teenagers struggle with and the different conversations around that. I don't really want to say too much because I feel like it could be very spoilery for me to say too much. I will admit that I was expecting this to be a little bit more thrillery, a little bit more of the like paranormal aspect based off of the description of the book, but it definitely feels, it's not literary by any means, but it's not the fastest paced book in my opinion. It's not necessarily slow, like there's definitely things happening, but I wouldn't necessarily call this a thriller, if that makes sense. But it's not really a literary book either. It's just a YA book. I don't really know how to describe it, but I am enjoying it. I'm gonna go hopefully finish it. I have about an hour and 15 minutes left and then start something else. I need to get my butt in gear though. Announcement went really well, but now everybody's commenting and I just want to comment back. I want to talk about the readathon, so I need to stop. I need to focus on my book and then I can do all of that later. But thank you guys so much for your support. I don't know if I've already said this somewhere else so far, but I cannot thank you enough for supporting my channel, supporting the readathon. I hope we all have the best time. That's all I'm gonna say on that, but yes, thank you so very much. So I'm gonna go read. I'm not gonna hit my page goal. Am I gonna hit my page goal? I'm not gonna hit my stretch goal, that's for sure. So I did manage to finish the Thrashers, and that was 352 pages. So I am over halfway through my goal, but not quite where I want it to be for right now. That's okay though. We're making progress. It's 5 p.m. so I don't have a lot of time left, like 6 hours, 5 hours. I can't math. But anyway, I really need to get a move on. Next up is going to be Wild and Wrangled. But first, let me give you my final thoughts on the Thrashers. I did enjoy this one a lot. I think I'm going to end up giving it a 4-star. I wasn't quite as obsessed with it as I wanted to be, but I definitely appreciate what it was doing and what it was saying. It definitely explored toxic friendships and secrets really well, and struggles of high school and like being in these friend groups. I think that the way that it wove everything together and the final reveals made a lot of sense to me. It's not something that was overly shocking, but I definitely feel like it made sense for all of the different groups' personalities, and I liked following Jody mainly throughout the friend group. So overall, I really enjoyed it. I wish I had more in-depth thoughts to give on it, but I am a little brain fried at the moment. But I did really like it, and I will definitely read more from Julie Soto in the future because I think that her writing style was just so easy to read and fall into, and I really liked the way that she brought the characters to life. I thought she did a really good job with the character depths and like the different character personalities and archetypes. I do wish the girls other than Jody had a little bit more personality. I felt like Paige and I think it was Lucy didn't really feel like a big part of the story, where the guys were definitely a bigger part of the story, but that's a very minor complaint overall. So next up, like I said, is going to be Wild and Wrangled. I'm so excited to be finishing this series. Lila Sage is one of my favorite contemporary authors. She always hits you in the feels while also creating some amazing characters as well. So I expect to fly through this one. And then if I get time, I think I'm going to read the next book in the Broken Bond series because I've just been kind of in the mood for something like that I can turn my brain off and just have a good time with. And it's a little toxic, but also a lot of fun. So we'll see how much I manage to get read. Ollie is dying to go outside, so I think I'm going to take him for a quick walk because it's finally less than 90 degrees here today, and it doesn't look like it's currently about to rain. So I've got to take the opportunity while I can get it. so many people mowing, so I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me, but like it is 75 degrees out here. It feels like fall and my heart is so happy. Good news is I've made progress in another book and I am now up to 427 pages total for the readathon. So we're getting very, very close to my goal. I do feel like I might be able to hit my goal for the readathon, but not my internal goal of wanting to read 3 books because it's currently 6:45 and I am only 80 pages into Wild and Wrangled, but I am really enjoying this so far. This is the final book in this series and it is Cam and Dusty's book, and they are a couple that I was not like super invested in the first couple of books, but I do think that the third book really set up their love story pretty well and I started to become more invested in Cam. Even though we didn't know as much about Dusty, I did like her and kind of her background information. There's kind of a convoluted family tree to this, which I feel like is pretty common in like the cowboy romances that follow different characters throughout. But basically Cam is Riley's mom, which is the daughter of who is our third book protagonist, and they have been like co-parenting. They've been doing really, really well. Cam is set to get married at the beginning of this book, but her to-be husband leaves her at the altar. She doesn't want anyone to really know about it, to take pity on her. She is a do-it-yourself kind of gal and she doesn't want to be perceived as weak or unable to take care of things. So Dusty, who was her high school sweetheart, comes in just to get her out for the day. He doesn't want to ask her any questions and he's been basically pining for her. So it's going to be a second chance romance between the two of them, and I really do like the way that their romance has been set up so far. We are getting flashbacks to when they met in high school versus the love story that they have going on now. Dusty back in high school definitely feels a little bit more carefree, a little bit more charismatic, and now he is a bit more reserved, and you can definitely tell walking on eggshells a little bit around Cam. So I'm curious to see how that relationship got from where it was to where it is now and how it's going to flourish. I think Lila Sage just does such an incredible job with her characters, and the fact that we're getting to see all of the characters that kind of led up to this point and see where they are now and how all of these people in this small town are helping one another is really, really good. This one has more found family vibes in it already, in my opinion, that I'm really enjoying, and I just love how fleshed out all of her characters are. Even though I'm not usually a second chance romance kind of person, I think that she's gonna make me root for these characters so much. I can already tell, and I'm having the best time with it. It reads so fast, and I definitely think I can finish this by the end of the night. Will I get another book read? Yeah, remains to be seen, but I definitely think that I can get this one finished. So I'm gonna go take a shower. It's hair wash day, which is like my least favorite day of the week, but it must be done. So I'm gonna go do that. I will listen to my book a little bit while I'm blowing my hair dry, and then hopefully I'll get to 50% pretty soon, and that should be getting me a lot closer to my goal, but probably not quite there yet. Oh my god, they're not even together, and this is the most romantic thing. Like, I just can't. Like, literally, where is this quote? Because he's talking to her, like, daughter, and he looks over at Cam and says, she was looking at her daughter with a hell of a lot of love. I hope I wasn't looking at Cam the same way. This is just, like, I don't know how Lila Sage does it. I'm not a second chance romance kind of gal, but like I care so much about these characters. I'm so invested. I love seeing the flashbacks and kind of understanding Cam's background and how that is shaping her into the mom that she is. And normally I'm not a kids person. You guys know that. But I think with Riley being a little bit older and getting to see those flashbacks and the changes and how that is shaping Cam as a character is really impactful. And I love, love, love the role that Dusty is playing in all of this, and how they're changing and how they both grew and how 15 years ago made them into the people that they are. And it's just so good. I'm having the best time. I'm flying through this. I'm at halfway, and it just was a good time for me to come and check in with you guys. But like the presents exchange, if you read it, you know, I just, so good. I don't have any coherent thoughts. I'm squealing. I'm having the best time. This is so good. I'm gonna binge through the rest of this and then I'll come back and check in. But like, you guys, this is so good. This is exactly what I needed right now. Okay, it is, what what time is it? I don't even know what time it is. 10:23. It is 10:23, which is 40 minutes before the readathon technically ends for Lexi. And I did hit my page goal because I finished Wild and Wrangled, which was 326 pages. My goal was 600 pages. So if we count the Thrashers plus this one, I have hit 678 pages today, which is incredible. I didn't start until 10 a.m. though. So I'm kind of like, do I continue to read until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning? Because I have a long drive to work tomorrow. I think I might, just so that it rounds out the 24 hours for me, even though her readathon will technically have ended, but I did hit my page goal for her and I really, really wanted to read 3 books. So I may keep reading because I'm actually in the mood, which that's what I was hoping this would do, but I've been successful and I actually want to continue reading because I think this is a 5-star read. I loved this book. I think that it was so deeply romantic. I think that it had some really good conversations about young love and how you can love someone and still not be in the same place in your life or the right place in your life. And I love that conversation so much because it doesn't always mean because you're young you can't love someone else, but you do have to find who you are as a person, know what you want in life, and be at the right place at the right time sometimes too. And I just really enjoyed that. I like the flashbacks back and forth. Cam's parents are absolutely awful, and I do wish we gotten just a touch more closure from that side of things, but I did like the flashbacks of seeing that and seeing how she handled everything and what happened with their relationship to lead them to where they are today. The third act breakup thing I felt like was a little bit dramatic. It kind of didn't really make sense and it was blown up to be a bigger thing for the sake of the plot than it actually was, and so it was resolved really quickly. That kind of felt silly in my opinion, but there needed to be some kind of conflict, so I guess it was fine. But that was really my only complaint. I think that this was great. I love Dusty. I love Cam. Yes, in contemporary romance, the men tend to be like the perfect men because, well, they're written by women, so of course they are, but I do think she did a good job of balancing Dusty's want to be like out and do things and not necessarily being willing to come back for her to the man that he was in the present time too. So I think she did a really good job with that. I really, really enjoyed this. I'm so glad that I read it because it's exactly what I needed to kind of get me back into reading and make me want to pick up a book. I did get a little derailed because I was watching Sabrina Carpenter's Lollapalooza set because I was really hoping that we would get a new song. We didn't get a new song, but Man-Child Live was so good. I really liked it. And Man-Child's one of those that definitely had to grow on me a little bit, but now that it has, I really, really like that song. And I cannot wait for the album on August 29th. I'm so excited, and I was really hoping we would get a little sneak, but that's okay. We didn't, and it's fine. I still enjoyed the set either way. I think it was a lot of fun, and the white outfit looked incredible on her. The fringe, amazing. So yeah, I definitely got a little bit derailed. I was hoping to have already started another book by now because I was on track to finish this one by 9. But then I watched that instead, and so now it's, 10:30. I do think I'm going to read Savage Bonds, though, which is the second book in the Bonds That Tie series. I remember the first one reading really, really quickly. It's going to be doing kind of a 180 because Wild and Wrangled is so, like, sweet and deeply romantic, and the Bonded series is definitely bully and not at all romantic, but it's going to be fun either way. I'm definitely in the mood for that, like, just enjoy my time kind of book, so hopefully it will continue the reading vibes. I think I'm gonna listen to that for a little bit before I go to bed, maybe watch an episode of The 100. I've been quite obsessed with that recently, but I need to read and not watch TV. I don't know. I'll let you know. Will I finish Savage Bonds? I'm not sure if I'll finish it before the technically 24 hours end, so maybe I shouldn't start another book, but I want to. I'll let you know what I decide in the morning. We'll figure it out tomorrow. I don't have a lot of time because no one's surprised that I am running late for work. Last night and this morning, I did manage to get about 15% of the way into Savage Bonds, and this one picks up right where the first book left off. And I'm really glad that I'm getting back into reading these because they're just so easy and fun. It's following Ollie, and she has this magic, these powers that are very, very powerful and very, very scary. And so she doesn't want anything to do with them. She ran away so that she did not have to face her powers when her parents were killed. And in this world, you can bond to other people in order to make your powers more strong. And so you can have like just regular bonds, but also central bonds, which are basically like this family unit that are drawing strength from one another. And this is done through sex. So she knows that she has these 5 bonds, these 5 very powerful men that want to bond with her in order to make their magic stronger, but she doesn't want anything to do with them because she doesn't want to make her magic stronger. So she runs away and they end up finding her and bringing her back, and then it's the relationship between the five of them. She's in a school and it's just, I don't know. There's something about it that's just so addictive that I don't really know how to describe it. I gave the first book a 3-star. I wanted a little bit more depth from it overall, but I also found it to be a lot of fun, and I feel like that's how I'm going to feel moving into the rest of the story. I'm hoping it kind of goes like Zodiac Academy, because it kind of gives me that kind of vibe where I liked the first book but wasn't obsessed with it, and then moved on to the further books and started to enjoy them a lot more. I don't really have a favorite guy yet. This is a why choose, by the way. I felt like that was implied, but I'll just go ahead and say it. I don't have a favorite guy at the moment. North obviously is very intriguing to me because he's a complete asshole, and you guys know, like, I'm intrigued by the jerks. I don't want that in real life, but in my books, yes please. But I don't really have a lot of, like, I don't have a ranking for them at the moment. So once I do, I will let you know what that is, but I don't have one right now. But it is currently 7:30, so I have got to go. I really want some breakfast this morning, so we'll see if I have time for that. I have 2.5 hours until this readathon ends. I'm gonna do my best to get through this book before it ends. I don't know how much more I'll get to check in with you guys before I'm done, just simply because I will be at work and I don't like filming at work because it just feels weird. But I will definitely check in when I get home, and we'll talk about my final thoughts as well as how many pages I ended up reading, which hopefully was a lot. Super quick update, because yes, I'm running very late. The school traffic this morning, I forgot school was starting back, and it's amazing to me how bad traffic gets with just like 2 grades that are able to drive. It's absolutely insane. But with that being said, I did get about 45% of the way into Savage Bonds, and I'm really enjoying it. I like that we're getting a lot more depth to our characters and learning about their relationships, and I feel like I'm getting a better handle on the guys and their different personalities. In book 1, I definitely felt like I had a hard time distinguishing between who was who and which was which, and I think a lot of that was just because of learning like the names, and there were so many of them being introduced, and now I feel like I know who is who and what their relationship is going to entail with Ollie and how she feels about them, and I'm really enjoying that part of the story a lot. I'm curious to see what the overarching plot's going to be, what this resistance thing is, and how all of that shakes in. I think I said North earlier, but Nox is very intriguing to me. I like the little nightmare creature. He's really cute, and I'm with Ollie. Like, he's adorable. So I think that I should be able to finish this. It's probably going to be 11. I'm probably going to miss it by like an hour, but that feels like a good amount of wiggle room. Like, it's fine. It's close enough, right? And that is a wrap on the 24-hour readathon. I did not manage to get through all of Savage Bonds before the readathon technically ended. I made it about 50% of the way through, but work got a lot busier than I was expecting it to when I got there, and so I actually had to work. How rude. I will give you my final page goal down here. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I think it might have hit my stretch goal. I think that I was successful at my 750 pages, which means that I tried to get us that pizza party. We were not successful overall. The pizza party is not happening this time, but I contributed. I did what I was supposed to do. So final thoughts on Savage Bonds. I think I'm gonna give this a 4-star. I was a little unsure at the beginning. Like, I was having a good time, but I still felt like I was missing a lot of that depth. And then as we got into the second half of the book, I started to feel like I understood the men a little bit better. I was very curious, like my ranking of who I liked best kept kind of switching around, which in my opinion is one of the best ways to go, because that means that she's making me curious and intrigued about all of them. The only one that I don't love is Atlas. I feel like he's a little too I'm in love with you already for no reason. Gabe I'm still unsure about, and Griffin definitely grew on me the more we got into the book, which that was for obvious reasons. But I liked the ending. I thought that it was really good. We had a lot of good action. I like how like dedicated to her friend she is, but I still am very curious about North. I think he grew on me the most in this book. Ollie can be a little bit of a frustrating character, and sometimes she can feel very young, which is part of the reason that I think it was a 4-star, but that also fits the vibe of the book. Like, it makes sense for her character, for her to be a little headstrong, but at one point she was talking about how she was going to spend her entire salary on clothes, which honestly, relatable, but I think I just want a little bit of more depth from her character, because now I feel like we're getting it from the guys. I want to see it from her as well, and I'm very curious about her backstory and her history. So I think this was a success. I do need to read the next one relatively quickly. I have heard that these are best to read in like fast succession and not to put off for too long, but I don't want to read them too close together because I feel like I could burn out very easily on them. So maybe in like the next month or so, if you don't see me reading book 3, yell at me. I'm gonna need that. But either way, I think that this was a pretty successful 24 hours. I'm very happy with how it went, and I'm very happy that it got me back into a little bit of the reading mojo because your girl was struggling. Once again, thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me. If you just want to let me know that you were here, leave me a Z's emoji for being very tired on a 24-hour readathon. I will leave a previous like 48-hour readathon up on the screen in case you guys want to check it out, and I will see you in the next one.